Plan on flying? In order to board domestic flights, your driver's license or state-issued ID must be a real ID. Learn how to get your real ID today at tsa.gov/real ID or visit your local DMV.
On your mark, get ready, start.
Broadcasting from California and Delaware, this is the Hard Rocking Trivia Show. And here are your hosts, Mark and Danny.
Hey, Danny, what's happening?
Oh, just same old thing.
Same old thing. Okay, here we are.
Talk some rock.
All right, here we go. We're going to talk about, before we get into our rapid fire, we're going to talk about this DVD that I sent you in the mail. And it's called Inside Metal, The Pioneers of LA Hard Rock and Metal. It's made by Bob Nalbandian. Now, I've seen it. I saw it in the theaters. I saw part 1 and 2, but I sent it to you. So we're going to start off with you and what you thought about it.
I thought it was really interesting. There's a lot of information there that I didn't know, a lot of bands that I was not aware of, but, you know, I wasn't in on the LA metal scene at the beginning, you know. But they had a lot of good information about the bands that were out at that time. I wish they'd have gotten some of the bigger names, I guess, to talk. I mean, I guess they had Don Dokken, and I mean, Michael DeBar had a lot of information there, and so it seems like he was kind of the big in that time frame.
Yeah, they also had Lars from Metallica, but he came a little later,
yeah,
so he missed a lot of that stuff. And they got some guys in Snow and Quiet Riot, and the big get would have been somebody from Van Halen. In fact, they asked Michael Anthony, but I guess he was almost going to do it, but then his publicist kind of said, nah, it'll probably cause too much friction with the Van Halens, so
yeah, probably.
He declined, but I don't think it would have done anything bad. It would have just been talking about the history.
Yeah, then they talked a lot about Van Halen and how they were kind of the kings of that whole era, that once Van Halen got signed, it ushered in a whole new era of the metal time in that area. And they talked a lot about all the clubs, Gazzari's and Rainbow and all those clubs that I've at least seen.
Yeah, because this DVD covers mostly 76 through 1981, and at that time, the only band we really knew about was Van Halen because we bought the first Van Halen record, and the other band that we knew about was Yesterday and Today because we bought the first. I think we had the first and the second album, so we were familiar with those bands, obviously.
Yeah.
But everybody else from the local scene. Oh, and the other one we knew about was Angel, because I'm an Angel freak.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, actually, they came from where we were at. They're from the D.C. area, and they moved out to Los Angeles. So I missed them every time, so I never actually got to see them live. Would have been nice if they'd hung around for a couple more years. Well, by the time I got to LA in '83, so by that time they were gone.
Yeah.
But imagine if those guys would have hung on, and the MTV H hit, and they would have started putting out videos. I think they would have been huge.
Oh, I think so too. The stage they had, the setup, the presence. I mean, they were the anti-Kiss, but they were also exactly like Kiss with the great stage. So I think Angel had better songs just overall, you know, with Greg Giuffria writing some amazing licks.
And basically, they're really the first hair band. And if you want to count like Sweet, maybe Sweet was, but after that it was Angel. I mean, look at the look they had.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Sweet was probably more glam, but yeah, you could definitely have an argument for them being hair metal. But even this video, they talked a little bit about Sweet being glam and how some of the other bands weren't trying to do the whole glam thing, but Sweet and the New York Dolls and groups like that were glamming it up.
And the cool thing about also this DVD is some of the stories. How about the guy from Detective talking about his getting to sit down in John Bonham's place and jam with Led Zeppelin?
Unbelievable. That they happened to be in the studio next door, and Bonham was out sick one day, and so they asked him to come over and sit in, and he said they jammed for hours.
And that's probably the only guy on the planet besides, Jason Bonham that's actually done that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And I bet you nobody even believes the guy. They probably think, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're wasted. You must have dreamed that." Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, you wish.
Yeah.
I believe the guy. Why not?
And another thing I thought was interesting is how much money those guys made. That was way before pay to play happened in the 80s. So these guys were
They were
packing these clubs,
making some good money.
Yeah, I mean they could survive on that. The only problem was the stupid record companies were basically ignoring them.
Ugh. Yeah, they talked about how Van Halen got signed, but then that was kind of it. Nobody else really got into it. And this was before the whole hair metal thing with Rat and Motley Crue and all those guys started out. I mean, the video goes up to 81, so there was a lot of the big hair metal bands that we all know and love today. This was before their time, so this video is definitely something that you want to watch if you're into like the early history of the LA scene.
I mean, I sat there and I learned so much from that. I mean, a lot of stuff I didn't know. I didn't know who Wolfgang was, who it turned out the lead singer was Steve Plunkett from Autograph.
Right.
I never knew that. And
I've never heard of Snow, or
I've heard of Snow. I actually had the EP. I know because it was the Cavasso brothers.
right.
And I've heard it, but the sound quality's not that great because it was made independently. But that was a band that almost broke. I mean, I never heard of A La Carte and all those bands.
Yeah.
But it was. Oh man, I wish I would have been there. we were stuck in Springfield, Virginia, listening to the DC 101,
Right.
and with no local scene whatsoever. So we got the same songs over and over again that they're still playing to this day. Hey, it's Leonard Skinner. Hey, it's The Who. Hey, it's Zeppelin. Same songs they played 30 years ago, they're still playing. So yeah, DC is dead when it comes to a local music scene. But then again, Angel came from there, so which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But they left right away.
They went to LA to make it big.
Oh yeah, and this is only part one of this DVD, and part two is coming out in June, and I'll send you another copy. I'll send you part two. So
Nice.
we got to help out Bob Nalbandian out there in Los Angeles. And this guy, he did this all on his own. He just wanted to get the story out there, and I think it's really cool because if you're a trivia geeks like we are, you'll love this.
Oh yeah, there's so much that I've never even heard of, and then they're talking about these stories of the debauchery that went on backstage or upstairs or wherever the back area was in these clubs. Great stories.
Yeah, like in the Rainbow Room, there's a upstairs. I don't know if they touched it on this first one, where there's that one area where only like the vampires, what was it, Alice Cooper and Keith Moon,
Right.
and all those guys got to hang out, and they still have that area up there just for those guys.
Yeah.
That's some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. The Starlight Ballroom? No.
No, that was the upstairs in the rain.
There's another one.
It's not Starwood.
Yeah. Starwood,
Which
they talked a lot about.
Which was gone by the time I got out there. And then when you came out there to visit, we knew the Reseda Country Club, the Whiskey, the Roxy.
Yep.
I mean, they're still there, but we're country clubs not. But
Country Club was
Whiskey.
great.
Go ahead.
That was a great show we saw with Accept, and then who was it? The Bronx opened up for him.
Yeah, a band that never quite made it though. Oh man, the '80s. When we get these other, the second one is Pioneers Part 2, and the third one is when the DVD in this series is when the metal scene explodes, where they get into Wasp, Rat, and all those bands that just blew up. So that's when we were there. We got to see all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the first concert I saw at the Reseda Country Club was Loudness. I think it was their first LA appearance.
Hello, Los Angeles.
That's right. Hello, Los Angeles. Those guys were awesome. It was unbelievable how good they were. And I got to see Wasp, Bon Jovi when they came over for their show. We saw Accept there with Udo at their country club.
That was so great, man. They were so powerful. Unbelievable.
But I'm sure Bob Nalbandian was there too, because I've talked to him online, and a couple of them. When I saw the first Raven Metallica show, they were there.
The All for One or Kill 'Em All for One tour.
Yeah. Metallica's first well, this is a trivia before we do the rapid fire, but I think they said Metallica's first show when they were just kids was opening for Saxon at the Whiskey.
Really?
Could you imagine that? Jeez.
Oh, jeez. I'm sure that was
Poor
Dave
guy.
Mustaine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back then, before they booted him out, I guess when they went back east, that's when he got the boot.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Poor
move
guy.
to East with us. You're fired.
Yeah, you're kind of a dick, and we're going to replace you. Okay, bye. Yeah, well, but you know what? Dave did okay on his own with Megadeth, so he's...
There's so
Yeah.
many. I think there are more Megadeth songs that I like than Metallica songs. I know we'll probably get a bunch of comments about that, but screw it. Megadeth has some awesome riffs.
Yeah, they do. Okay, and let's do a little wrap-up here of the Inside Metal Pioneers of LA Hard Rock and Metal DVD. Everybody out there, if you like our show and you like trivia and you're interested in the true history of Los Angeles hard rock and metal, get this. Go on Amazon. I think last time I looked, it was $9.99 for this DVD. Go get it. It's 80 minutes. It's got some bonus material in it. Awesome. You're supporting Bob and everything he does. Getting to hear about what these guys went through in the old days. I mean, who remembers Legs Diamond except for me and you?
Yeah, exactly.
Another band I saw at the country club. I was never a huge fan, but, back in the old days when we didn't have one radio corporation ruling everything,
Clear
like
Channel?
Clear Channel, yeah. Oh, now it's known as iHeartRadio, but it's still Clear Channel. So, now they have one guy programming all the rock stations across the country. But back in the 70s and 60s, a band could break in, like, San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Legs Diamond apparently was big in Texas, or a Trapeze was big in Texas. Even a band out of Canada called Moxie was big in Texas. But, you could break regionally. But now it's impossible. You can't do it. And in fact, Quiet Riot, who was passed on by everybody, broke in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I think Dallas, Texas.
They're
And
huge. We're huge in Tulsa.
Hey, but you know what? Everybody picked up on it, and it spread across the country.
That's all it
and
takes.
that'll never happen again, which sucks eggs.
Yeah.
So, again, go out there and get Inside Metal, the pioneers of LA hard rock and metal. You can either look up Inside Metal, Google that, or go to Amazon and get this. So if you like bands like, if you want to hear if you like Great White, they talk about, the band before Great White, which was Dante Fox, and it's really cool. You got to check this out.
Yeah. Very cool. Check it out.
Okay, and now let's do a little bit of rapid fire.
All right, bring it. Okay, time for another segment of Rapid Fire where we try to stump each other with trivia questions. Are you ready, Mark?
Oh, I hope so.
All right. Question number 1. Some of these questions I've got were inspired by M3 this past week. So, first one, how many albums did Y&T release as Yesterday and Today?
I believe Y&T released 2 under that banner.
That is correct.
Woohoo! Is it Banner or Banneker? It's Banner,
Banner.
isn't it?
I don't know
I'm
what
a
Banneker is.
Banneker's actually a school in Los Angeles that we play. Never mind.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Can you name the 2 albums?
The first one I think is self-titled.
Yep.
And the second one is Struck Down, which I believe you owned, right?
I did own it, and you owned the first one, so we traded them back and forth back in the day.
Yeah, and then we both probably got rid of them.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, in fact, I don't have any of my albums anymore. I got rid of them a long time ago.
I saved a lot of my imports and colored vinyl, picture discs, things like that. But all the rest I got rid of.
The stuff is worth money.
Yeah, I hope so.
Imagine. I wish I had the Soundhouse tapes, and I wish I had Motley Crue's first album on leather records.
Yeah.
Wish I'd have kept that.
Yeah, it would have been good.
Damn it.
But I have.
Or Metal Massacre, the first one. The first pressing of Metal Massacre is worth money.
I had that. I don't know if I still do.
Oh, you may want to look, because I know there's a change in song.
Right.
So if you have the one that doesn't have black and blue on it. I think that's the one worth money.
All right, I'll check it out and see. I have like
Okay.
the picture disc of Aces High, which is great picture. Picture of Eddie flying some kind of airplane. I don't know. I have like an Accept album in clear yellow vinyl. It's really cool.
Okay.
But I don't know,
All right.
they're probably worth $2.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
Okay. You and I will. Okay, I'll tell you what. If you die first, will it to me. If I die, I'll will you what I got.
All right. Deal.
Okay, because my wife has no interest in anything I have.
She'll melt it down for
Yep,
fill up cracks in the driveway.
probably. All right, question number 1 for you.
All right.
What was the first Kiss album to feature lead vocal performances by all 4 members?
I'm gonna say Destroyer.
Answer is Love Gun. Shock Me is on Love Gun.
I was thinking Beth.
Oh, turn in your Kiss Army patch. You are done.
Really? Oh, Love Gun. Dang it.
That was a softball question. Ooh, it's going to be a tough night for you.
All right, well, we'll see how you do with these next questions.
All right.
Okay, question number 2 for you. Name the 5 main ladies in The Runaways.
Okay, Cherie Curry in lead vocals. Because there's actually Joan Jett on guitar. Lita Ford on guitar. The bass player, there was a couple of them. There was Vicky Blue, and there's also Jackie Fox.
Vicky Blue went on to where? Remember?
Where she went after the Runaways, Vicky Blue? I have no idea.
I think she was either her or the other bass player before Jackie Fox went to the Bangles.
I don't think neither one of them were in the Runaways. No, Vicky Blue was never in the Bangles.
There was one that went to the Bangles. I don't remember which one it was, but
I'm not big on the Bangles. And the drummer was Sandy West.
you are correct. You named all 5. Great job.
Yes. If you're into the Runaways or curious about them, they have some killer documentaries on them. Forget about that Runaways movie. That was garbage. But there's a couple cool ones out there. I think, in fact, Vicky Blue made a Runaways documentary that's very interesting. But
Cool.
Yeah, if you can I don't remember the name of it at this time. Okay, question number 2 for you. Let's see. What famous musician wrote the lyrics to Ozzy's "Mama, I'm Coming Home"?
Oh, famous musician.
Fame is big. Everybody knows this person. Even people that don't like his music. But
Don't
people
like
know
Ozzy's
who he-
music?
No, don't like this guy's music.
Oh.
Everybody knows this guy.
Ooh, I'll say Prince.
What? You're a little off. Lemmy. Lemmy. Everybody knows
Hey,
Lemmy.
they're both one name.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you a quarter credit. Wow. I didn't expect that.
There you go.
Jeez. Holy moly. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Can you name the highest UK charting single by the Sex Pistols?
God Save the Queen that went number 1.
Close. It went number 2. But you got the song right. There you go.
Oh, okay. You sure?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I looked it up on 2 different resources for that one.
And they wouldn't play it on the charts because they banned the song. So they did like their countdown show, and they played. They said, no, they're coming in number 2, the Sex Pistols, but we can't play it. They banned it, so they went right to number 1.
Oh, Jesus. Stupid.
Dumbasses. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Okay, so far you've failed on the I considered easy questions. So let's try this one. Okay, before Steve Morris joined Deep Purple, what American guitar player toured with Purple in 1994, but never recorded with?
American guitarist, Deep Purple before Steve Morris.
Yeah, it's somebody pretty common. You'd know who he is.
Oh, let's see. I'm going to say, I can only think of Brad Gillis.
Brad Gillis. Joe Satriani.
You're kidding.
No, and they asked him to join the band. He said no because he didn't think he could fill Blackmore's shoes.
Oh.
So he said no.
Wow. He could fill Blackmore's shoes.
Oh, he's a great guitar player. He's just different.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
All right, I'm 0 for 3.
Congratulations.
All right. Nice.
All right. Once again, it's time for intellectual poetry, where you have to guess the name of the band just based on the lyrics. Danny, are you ready for it?
I hope so. These are tough.
Yep, and this song I know you know. I don't know if you've heard it in a long time, but we're going to give it a shot.
All right.
Okay?
I would ask you to sing for me, but no.
No, I can't
No,
sing with...
I've heard.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. All right, now in your big flash motor and your wild reputation, you're ready to hit the streets, winking at the boys, yeah, heading for the noise, got the world at your feet. Any clue?
Wow. Crocus.
Nope, but pretty close though.
Okay.
All right. If you're leaving me for dead with a pistol at my head, is your idea of how I feel. Well, let me tell you, honey, before you spend all your money, I got my hands firmly on the wheel. Yeah.
Wow. Is it Scorpions?
Nope, but you're in the ballpark.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to skip the chorus and go to the next part of this.
All right.
And then give you the chorus. Backstreet lover in the cold of the evening takes you to a place he knows. Says it will be fine. Better make up your mind. You've cut it deep and now it shows. Any clue? It's a British band that you've seen live.
Oh, jeez.
Multiple times.
How about Priest?
Nope. You're still kind of in the ballpark.
Ugh.
All right, I'm going to give you the chorus.
All right.
Ready?
Let's see if I can get it from this.
It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter to me.
I'll say Def Leppard.
Correct.
Oh, man.
It Don't Matter by Def Leppard off the first album.
Man,
You probably haven't heard it in a long time, but it's a killer song.
yeah, great song. I just never knew the lyrics for that.
Yeah, if I would have sang it as the song went, you would have probably got it.
Yeah.
Okay, since we talked about that on intellectual poetry, let's play Def Leppard. It Don't Matter.
On the Hard Rock and Trivia Show.
Leaving me for dead with a pistol at my head.
Don't matter. Don't matter to me.
Now it's time to play Who the Hell Is This?
All right, it's time for another edition of Who the Hell Is This, where I've divided a song up into a couple different short segments, and Mark has to guess who this band is. All right, Mark, go ahead and play clip number 1.
Is this a hard one or an easy one?
Well, if you get it, then it's really easy.
Okay. All right, let's play it now.
No, I think this one's fairly easy.
Okay. Oh, wow. Just based on the first 10 seconds, sounds kind of familiar, but I have really no idea, so I'm going to guess. Is it Foghat?
No, not even close.
No. Oh, damn it.
All right. Go ahead and play clip number 2. Let's see if you can get it off of that.
Well, the guitar player is really good.
Yep.
Is this a famous band?
No, it's made up of other musicians that formed this band, musicians from other bands, but they had 3 albums.
Okay. Is it Mother's Army?
Nope, that is incorrect.
Damn it.
Go ahead and play clip number 3.
Don't make me feel it's better when I'm numb. Don't make me rich. I don't need anyone.
Oh, man. Well, you stumped me here. I'm not too sure.
You recognize
Is
it
it hair?
here?
No, because I'm listening through crappy headphones.
Oh, okay.
Is it Harem Scarum?
No, that is incorrect.
Damn, that's not a collection of musicians, so I should have listened to the clue before. Damn it.
One other
Any
clue.
more clues?
I'll give you this. The guitar player, not too recently, but in the recent past, died.
So it's a guy who died.
The guitar player, yeah.
I just realized my thing. Now there's no more hiding. Looking out from where I stand on the edge of where I'll be when I come home.
Okay,
Any guess?
that was... Yeah, I actually do have a good... I recognize the voice now. The voice is Tony Harnell from TNT.
That is correct.
All right, and based off of your clue, Mark Riel from Riot died.
Mm-hmm.
So is the band Westworld.
That is correct.
Yes. Now, I couldn't give you... I have no clue what the name of the song is.
When I Come Home.
When I Come Home. It sounded pretty good.
Great.
I don't have any of those albums.
Oh.
Maybe you need to send me those albums.
Yeah, they're all really good.
Okay. Well, since Tony left TNT again, and well, he really can't reform that band. Since Mark, maybe if they resurrect Mark, they can reform the band.
Yeah, I'd rather them reform Riot if that's going to happen.
Yeah, they did
Without Mark.
without Mark. And actually, the album they released without Mark is actually not bad.
All right.
It's not old school Riot. It's more like Thundersteel Riot, but it's not bad.
All right, now it's time for Cover This, where I pick a song, a cover song, by a particular band, and Mark has to guess the original band, the name of the song, and the band doing the cover version. So, Mark, go ahead and play.
All right, I got to ask a question of you. Do I have any chance in hell of getting this right?
Probably not. You may. I'll give you a hint on this one first. The first one here. It is a collection of musicians. You know all the musicians. We may have even talked about most of them on this show already. So if you get any of the musicians in this band, I'll give you partial credit. I don't even think it's a band, really. It's a collection of musicians, but if you get any of them, I'll give you partial credit.
Like a gaggle of musicians?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, let's play it now.
All right.
There goes the siren that warns out the air raid. Then comes the sound of the guns and it flash. Out of the scramble, we've got to get airborne. Got to get up for the coming attack. Jump in the cockpit and start up the engines. Remove all the wind blocks, there's no time to waste.
Okay, I've listened to it, and I know the original song. The original song was done by Iron Maiden.
Yep,
All right, and the song is Aces High.
that is correct. That was not the tricky part.
Okay, and then tricky part, who the hell is singing? I'm going to guess Paul Shortino.
No, that is not correct.
All right, I'd never heard that version before.
It was on an Iron Maiden tribute album. The singer was Jeff Scott Soto.
Really? Didn't sound like him.
Yep. The guitar player was Nuno Betancourt.
Wow.
The bass player was Billy Sheehan.
That's a
And
pretty damn good band.
the
right
drummer
there.
was Vinny Appice.
Wow.
Or
Okay.
Peace, whichever you want to say.
Yeah, I think he goes by Appleseed.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a. I don't think I would have expected a better sounding cover than that one. I
Yeah,
thought it was sloppy in the beginning.
it may have been my sound or my computer, but at the beginning it got better once it got going.
Okay. Well, not too bad. Okay. All right. Well, that was a good one, Danny.
All right.
Actually, I think that was a pretty poor one.
If you enjoy the Hard Rocking Trivia Show, you can go to Spreaker.com and sign up for free to follow the show. All past episodes can also be streamed or downloaded at Spreaker.com.